efforts must be taken to segment, isolate, and secure different traffic as it traverses through the wired network. Next is network access control, which allows or denies network access based on predetermined criteria. This type of access control is often only considered in the context of things such as wireless networks and remote access. It is not until recently that network access control is becoming popular on the switch port level within the hospital's wired infrastructure. Surprisingly, in many hospital environments, care is taken to design security at the perimeter, while network access control on the internal network is often overlooked. So, different technologies like IBNS or 802.1x standards can be used, which is a standard for port-based network access control, which gives the ability to allow network access based on credentials supplied by either the user or the device directly on the port level. This offers the ability to allow network access only to legitimate users at the front line switch port. Often in many environments, everyone is allowed access to the network, and access control is placed on the devices such as servers or on the applications. But by pushing this access control to the port level on the network, the security of overall network environment is increased, because only authenticated devices or users are allowed access to the network, not to the application. Which, with much of today's security threats coming from inside of the network, this type of access control does make sense, and from my side it is recommended in hospital environment. Another aspect of network access control which must be considered is the security posture of the device connecting to the network. Often it is not enough to just verify who is accessing the network, but what is accessing the network is also an important part. By using advanced tools and devices for network access, the device that is accessing the network can be tested for security compliance or security policy of the organization. This ability to scan the device allows for compromised and unsecure devices to be denied at the edge of the network before affecting the entire infrastructure. As I already stated, that with many of today's security threats coming from inside of the organization or from the internal network, this ability can be considered as a necessary part of the network security. Lastly, I will be talking about network infrastructure equipment security itself. While securing a hospital's wired network infrastructure, equipment security must not be overlooked. If the equipment that runs the network is compromised, the entire hospital and the data which it contains is left vulnerable. So it is a major piece of security puzzle. The first thing that must be considered when looking at securing network equipment is the access, physical access. Who and how will access to the network equipment should be controlled. The equipment should be placed in locked environments wherever possible. Also, authentication and authorization systems should be there for access and management of the network equipment. Wherever possible, eliminate insecure protocols such as Telnet and HTTP and use much more secure protocols as Secure Shell or HTTPS for accessing these equipments. Wherever possible, use out-of-band management so that normal traffic and management traffic are not on the same segments. Also, disable unused ports. An unused port that is enabled can potentially become an entry point for an attacker. So, to help ensure the security of the network equipment as well as the overall network, disable all unused services and ports on the network devices. These are the few points actually which I know are the best practices and not something we are not aware of, but should not be overlooked. That was my point of concern. So in conclusion, in present electronic era, the wired network security must not be overlooked and should be a major factor in every aspect of design, installation and maintenance of the core wired network, especially in the hospitals. Hence, every effort must be made to secure the wired network environment at the various levels. These were a bird's eye view of some best practices to be considered when it comes to the hospital's wired network infrastructure. However, the discussed concepts were to serve as guide to increase security, whereas the approaches may differ from hospital to hospital, of course, depending upon their network complexity, security policies, compliances, and priorities. Thank you.